In the sacred pages, there are stories that are more than mere accounts of the past. They are keys. Keys that unlock eternal principles about God's power to turn the desert into a spring, loss into gain, and mourning into dancing. Today, we will pull back the curtains on one of these stories, the journey of Ruth, a narrative that many know superficially, but few understand the depth of the revelation it carries about redemption and divine purpose. Have you ever felt disqualified? A foreigner in your own life? As if your losses and your past have defined your future? The story of Ruth begins at the lowest point a woman could reach at that time: widowed, childless, foreign, and destitute. But what happened next defies all human logic. How did this woman from Moab, a historically adversarial nation, not only find a new love, but have her name forever engraved in the lineage of the Messiah himself, Jesus Christ? This message is for you who are in a valley of decision, for you who face an uncertain future, feeling the weight of losses and closed doors, for you who, in your heart, wonder if God still has a plan. Ruth's journey is not just about the past. It is a prophetic map for your second chance. The secret of her loyalty and the response of her Redeemer are the tools the Father wants to give you today to rewrite your story. By the end of this video, we will unravel the hidden meaning behind Boaz's gesture at the threshing floor and how Naomi's strategy reveals a powerful principle for you to access your promises. And we will discover the prayer of loyalty that Ruth prayed, a prayer that has the power to open the heavens over your life. Welcome to a journey through the fields of Bethlehem, a place where loyalty was tested and redemption blossomed in an unexpected way. Stay with me, because what we are about to discover together today has the power to change the way you see the seasons of loss and waiting in your life. You are about to learn that your faithfulness in the little can make you an heir of much. The story begins in Moab, a land of desolation for a family from Bethlehem. Elimelech, Naomi, and their 2 sons left the land of bread to escape famine, but they found death. First Elimelech, then their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, husbands of Orpah and Ruth. For Naomi, the journey seemed a complete failure. She was empty, bitter, and hopeless. She herself said, "Do not call me Naomi pleasant, call me Mara bitter, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me." Joseph's journey began in a pit. Ruth's begins in a family cemetery. The end of a season of dreams is often the starting point for God's true purpose. Have you ever felt like Naomi, bitter with circumstances, looking back and seeing only losses? It is in this very place of desolation that true faith is forged. What is God asking you to leave behind, even if it seems like the only thing you have left? What is your Moab today? Faced with despair, Naomi releases her daughters-in-law to return to their families, to their gods. It was the logical decision. Orpah, with a farewell kiss, returns. But with Ruth, something extraordinary happens in her spirit. She clung to Naomi. She refuses logic and embraces a call of radical loyalty. She makes one of the most powerful covenant declarations in all of Scripture. "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord do so to me and more also, if anything but death parts me from you." Ruth 1:16-17. This was not just a vow to Naomi. It was a vow to Naomi's God. Ruth chose to leave the gods of Moab and be grafted into a new covenant. She had no guarantee, no promise, only the conviction of her loyalty. Have you understood yet that your loyalty to God, even in times of uncertainty, is the seed for your miracle? Comment loyalty if you decide today to cling to the Lord, no matter what happens around you. Ruth chose the path of uncertainty and service. Upon arriving in Bethlehem, she does not ask for a favor. She does not demand a right. She simply asks Naomi, "Let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain after him, in whose sight I shall find favor." She was willing to do the most humble work, reserved for the poorest and neediest. Her nobility was revealed in her humility. Moses, a prince of Egypt, spent 40 years in the desert learning humility as a shepherd before he could lead a nation. Your willingness for humble work qualifies you for divine exaltation. Have you ever felt small or invisible in your work, in your service? Know that it is in the fields of humility that the eyes of the Redeemer find you. I thought my job was insignificant, serving coffee at church, arranging chairs. But it was there, in my small faithfulness, that God saw me and honored me with a ministry that today reaches thousands of lives. It is in the field of obedience that Ruth finds her Redeemer, Boaz. The text says that she happened to come to the field that belonged to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. There is no chance in God's plans. Your obedience places you in the place of your miracle. Boaz is not just a rich man. He is a Goel, a kinsman-redeemer, a man with the right and responsibility to redeem the land and the lineage of his deceased relatives. Boaz immediately notices Ruth. He doesn't just see her as a poor foreigner. He sees her character. He has heard of her loyalty to Naomi. He protects her, provides for her, and blesses her. The Lord repay you for what you have done, and a full reward be given you by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Ruth 2:12. God uses people to be the extension of his favor. Who are the Boazes that God has placed in your life to bless and protect you? If you believe that God is positioning you to find divine favor, follow this channel and comment, "Under your wings, Lord." Ruth and Naomi crossed the threshold from hope to action. Naomi, now full of faith upon seeing God's provision, devises a bold strategy full of prophetic symbolism. She instructs Ruth to wash, anoint herself, put on her best clothes, and at night, go to the threshing floor where Boaz would be winnowing barley. She was to find out where he lay down and lie at his feet. This was not an act of immorality, but a symbolic and powerful request for redemption. The threshing floor was a place of separation, of judgment. To lie at someone's feet was an act of submission and a request for protection. Ruth was not offering herself to Boaz. She was placing herself under his authority as her potential redeemer, saying, "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread your wings over your servant, for you are a redeemer." Like this video now to symbolize your decision to obey the strategies God has given you, even if you don't fully understand them. Your help allows us to reach more hearts. The final test arrives. Boaz is impressed with Ruth's honor and loyalty, but there was an obstacle. Boaz reveals, "There is a redeemer nearer than I," Ruth 3:12. The promise was close, but there was still a legal challenge to overcome. Ruth's victory depended on the integrity and action of Boaz. Ruth's ally was Boaz, a man of honor who committed to resolving the issue. The enemy, at this moment, was not a person, but a legal circumstance. How often do our promises seem to be in the hands of other people or dependent on circumstances we cannot control? It is in these moments that our faith is tested. We rest in the promise and trust in our Redeemer. The nearest kinsman had the first option. If he agreed to redeem the land, he would also have to marry Ruth. Her fate hung in the balance. What happened at the city gate? The answer reveals the heart of our true Redeemer. Imagine the anguish of Ruth and Naomi as they waited. The darkness was the possibility of the other kinsman accepting the redemption. The kinsman at first says, "I will redeem it." Their hearts must have sunk. The darkness is that moment of silence between the promise and the fulfillment, when circumstances seem to scream the opposite of what God has said. The ultimate ordeal happens publicly. Boaz, with wisdom, presents the full deal to the other kinsman. The day you buy the field, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, in order to perpetuate the name of the dead in his inheritance. The kinsman then backs down. He says, "I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I impair my own inheritance." He was willing to take the land the profit, but not the responsibility the bride. Boaz then stands up as the true redeemer. Boaz was willing to pay the full price. He takes off his sandal, a custom of the time to seal a deal, and declares before everyone that he was buying the land and taking Ruth as his wife to restore the lineage. Repeat with me, wherever you are, with faith. My Redeemer lives and has paid the price for me. Ruth's reward is complete restoration. The marriage to Boaz gives her not just a husband, but security, honor, and provision. Naomi's bitterness is transformed into joy, and the greatest reward arrives. Ruth conceives and gives birth to a son. The women of the city say to Naomi, "Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you this day without a redeemer. For your daughter-in-law who loves you, who is more to you than 7 sons, has given birth to him." The son is considered the restorer of Naomi's lineage. Come into restoration to declare that you are entering your season of reward and complete restoration. God's plan was greater. The son of Ruth and Boaz is named Obed. Ruth's journey was not just for a stable life. It was the restoration of the inheritance of a family that was about to disappear. Through her loyalty, the names of Elimelech and Mahlon were not erased from Israel. Here is Ruth's resurrection. She, who started out dead and her prospects widowed, foreign, childless, is now alive in a new purpose. That son, Obed, becomes the father of Jesse, and Jesse becomes the father of David. The Moabitess officially enters the royal lineage. What seemed to be the end was just the soil where God would plant the seed of royalty. And the final revelation, the blessing that echoes through eternity, is found in the first chapter of the New Testament. When listing the genealogy of Jesus, Matthew includes the names of women, and there she is. Salmon the father of Boaz by Rahab, and Boaz the father of Obed by Ruth, and Obed the father of Jesse, and Jesse the father of David the king. Matthew 1-5-6. Ruth didn't just enter the lineage of Israel's greatest king. She entered the lineage of the King of Kings. Her story of loyalty and redemption became part of the greatest redemption story of all. The key she carried helped pave the way for the Savior of the world to come. The story of Ruth teaches us that God does not look at our origin, but at our heart. He does not see our past of losses, but our future of promises. Your loyalty, your decision to take refuge under the wings of the Almighty, your courage to ask for redemption, all of this moves him. Boaz is a shadow of our true Redeemer, Jesus Christ. He paid the highest price to redeem us, restore our inheritance, and graft us into his royal family. Perhaps you came here feeling like Ruth in Moab, empty, hopeless. Know that your Redeemer sees you. He sees your silent faithfulness, your hidden tears, your loyal heart. And he is calling you to the fields of provision. He is ready to spread his cloak over you and give you a new name and a new future. God showed me that thousands of people who watch this message will feel the call to a new season of restoration. A wave of redemption is being released over families. Now, we count on your help for this revelation to reach more hearts. The first thing you can do is subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, as a new word of strength and hope is released here every day. The second is to share this video with at least 5 people you know are going through a desert. Be a channel of blessing in their lives. And as a prophetic act, comment below, "Jesus is my Redeemer." Let heaven and earth hear your declaration of faith today. You are part of this mission. Together, we can spread the message that there is no end that our God cannot turn into a glorious new beginning. The Lord repay you for what you have done, and a full reward be given you by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Ruth 2:12.